So we have some breaking news. It was just reported that the NCAA denied Trinidad Chambliss his 6th year of eligibility, which would end his college career. Ole Miss can still appeal, but if this was his last game last night...
Booger, expand on that thought. You believe Trinidad Chambliss is a good NFL prospect?
Absolutely, Greeny, because in a day and age, and I heard what Lewis talked about, and he's absolutely right about mitigating risk when it comes to height, weight, speed, measurables, all that. But in a day and age where the NFL is starving for quarterbacks, if you look at the early projections of this draft, you got Fernando Mendoza. If Dante Moore comes out, he's likely to be QB2. Everyone is saying QB3 is Ty Simpson. Well, guess what? QB3 is automatically going to get pushed up. He'll be a first-round pick. And if Ty Simpson is a first-round pick, you look at Trinidad Chambliss. He throws the football on time. He's got a powerful arm. He can ad-lib with his legs. What can't he do? I've watched a kid over the last month put on a master class when it comes to leadership, accuracy, decision-making, timing. And here's the thing that's most important.
They say that football is a game decided by inches. It is decided by the sweat you leave on the grass and the fire you have in your chest. But we have learned a harsh truth this week. Sometimes, a football career does not end on the field. It does not end with a championship trophy or even a heartbreaking loss under the lights. Sometimes, a career ends in a quiet office, hundreds of miles away, with a stamp of red ink on a piece of paper.
He's got the it factor. You look at how he led this team and the position he put him in, and I don't know about you guys, but last night when he stepped on the field in the second half, I was on the edge of my seat because I knew it was about to be magic on the field. He should be a first-round pick if he decides to come out, because if we knock him down because he's, 5'11", 6 foot tall, to me that's a mistake. He can play the position at a higher level than people who are bigger than he is.
For months, the Ole Miss Rebels held their breath. For months, a young quarterback named Trinidad Chambliss waited in silence. He was putting his life on hold. He was training for a season that existed only in his hopes. He was preparing for one last ride in Oxford. He wanted one final chapter to define his legacy. But that chapter will never be written. The book has been closed. The NCAA has officially denied Trinidad Chambliss his waiver for a 6th year of eligibility. And just like that, the dream is dead.
All right, Dog fans, let's talk about last night's loss in the Sugar Bowl to Ole Miss. And I got a lot of messages last night, this morning about we should have done this, we should have called that, we screwed up here, we screwed up there. All the excuses, I get it. Was it a perfect game? Were there mistakes made? Yes, but that's football. Heck, Ole Miss probably made a bunch of mistakes too when you go back and watch their tape as well. But at the end of the day, Ole Miss was the better football team. They played more consistent. They played more physical. They made more explosive plays. Plain and simple. You can make all the excuses you want. They just played the better game. They deserve to win. Trinidad Chambliss is an absolute monster. Some of the throws he made, the extending the plays, all that. Not saying Georgia didn't make great plays either. Ole Miss just made more, and they made them more consistently. So, congratulations to Ole Miss. You deserved to win that football game against the Georgia Bulldogs.
Imagine the silence in that moment. Imagine getting the phone call that changes everything. It is not the call you want. It is the call that tells you everything you have worked for, everything you have planned for the next year is gone. Trinidad Chambliss wasn't asking for a handout. He was asking for time. In a sport that breaks your body and demands your soul, he was asking for what has become standard in college football, a waiver, a simple chance to compete. This was not just about a depth chart. This wasn't just about Lane Kiffin needing a quarterback. This was about a human being who wasn't ready to say goodbye. But the NCAA decided that Trinidad Chambliss had played enough. They looked at his case, they looked at his history, and they said no. There will be no senior night. There will be no final walk through the grove. There is only the harsh reality of the end.
So we have some breaking news. It was just reported that the NCAA denied Trinidad Chambliss his 6th year of eligibility, which would end his college career. Ole Miss can still appeal, but if this was his last game last night...
This story is about more than just one player. It is about a system that picks winners and losers off the field. It is about the unfairness that drives fans insane. We are trying to tell the real stories of college football here. If you believe that players deserve better than this, do me a huge favor. Take a split second to like this video and subscribe to the channel right now. It really helps us keep telling these stories that the media ignores. To understand why this hurts so much, you have to look around at the rest of college football. We're living in a new era. We see players on television every Saturday who are 25 or 26 years old. We see men who have been in college for 7, 8, or even 9 years. The NCAA hands out waivers all the time. They give them for medical issues, they give them for COVID, they give them to players just because they transferred schools. It feels like they hand them out to everyone except Trinidad Chambliss. What made him different? Why is a 9th-year player at another school celebrated as a hero, but a quarterback at Ole Miss is told to go home? It feels random. It feels like a lottery where the numbers are rigged. And that is the cruelty of it. If there was a strict rule for everyone, it would be easier to accept. But when you see others living your dream while you are locked out, the pain turns into anger. The NCAA didn't just tell Chambliss no, they told him that he isn't one of the lucky ones. Now the fallout begins in Oxford. Lane Kiffin is known as an offensive genius. He is a wizard of play calling. But even a wizard needs the right tools. Kiffin had a plan. Every coach has a plan, and Chambliss was a huge part of that. He provided stability. He was a veteran in a room that desperately needs leadership. In the SEC, experience is the most valuable thing you can have. You cannot buy experience. You have to live it, and Chambliss had lived it. Now, the quarterback room is thrown into chaos. The plan is broken. Losing a 6th-year option this late in the calendar is a nightmare for a coaching staff. The playbook changes, the practice reps change, the confidence of the entire offense takes a hit. Kiffin will never admit panic in public. He will stand at the podium and talk about moving forward. He will say the right things. But behind closed doors, this is a massive blow to the team.
Should the NCAA grant Trinidad Chambliss a 6th year of eligibility? The Ole Miss star quarterback has already signed a mega deal to return back to the university for the 2026 season, but that all lies in the hands of the NCAA. Chambliss is asking for a medical redshirt after battling a respiratory issue during his sophomore season at...
But forget the team for a moment. Forget the SEC standings. Think about the man. For his entire adult life, Trinidad Chambliss has been one thing: a quarterback. It is how he introduces himself. It is how he wakes up in the morning. It is his brotherhood. When the NCAA denied him, they didn't just take away a season, they took away his identity. He has to pivot instantly. There is no transition period. He missed the chance to prepare properly for the NFL draft because he thought he was coming back. He can't just transfer somewhere else now. He is stranded.
There was a lot of excitement yesterday with the announcement that Trinidad Chambliss, if allowed by the NCAA, is going to return for another year at Ole Miss. Certainly that was a coup in terms of...
The psychological toll of being forced into retirement before you are ready is something we rarely discuss. We treat these players like characters in a video game, but they are real people whose dreams have just been crushed. History will not record Trinidad Chambliss as the star of the 2024 season. The record books will simply stop. This serves as a warning to every program and every player in the country. Do not trust the process. Do not rely on the waiver. Do not assume that logic will save you. The NCAA remains the judge and jury of college careers. They operate in the shadows, and their decisions are final. Ole Miss will take the field this fall. The stadium will be packed. The fans will scream. The game will go on, because the game always goes on. But down on the sideline, there will be a ghost. A space where a veteran should have stood. A jersey that should have been worn. Trinidad Chambliss deserved better. He deserved clarity. He deserved consistency. And most of all, he deserved the right to finish what he started on his own terms. But in the cruel world of college football, we don't always get what we deserve. This is a sad day for Ole Miss and a sad day for fair play. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel as we follow what happens next with the Rebels. For Trinidad Chambliss, the game is over. But for the rest of us, the questions are just beginning.